space downstairs, when you turn it into a separate living space, is that room going to be part of that living space as
Yeah,
well?
so basically this will be bedroom, this will be like whatever kind of like office space or storage space. This will be the what you see here.
Yeah.
We imagine we'll push things back a little bit so we can have it kind of like a double door that opens to access this. Washer and dryer will go somewhere else.
Here, I'll check right now in a second, please. There's a different design. So what doesn't make sense to me is, well, are you going to be removing the knob and tube wiring by chance? That's
I
a
heard
big
that it's
project.
really expensive to do that, so I don't know.
It's not expensive if it's exposed. Like, it's exposed right now, that's
Okay.
fine. But if it's in between the wall and the home, then they're going to have to take the sheetrock
Yeah,
out.
I don't know what.
That's a bigger project.
Yeah.
This is not a prompt. This is like exposed.
Can you half do it? Like remove that, but then leave the other.
The reason the electrician would have to remove it and then install new wiring because he has to replace that wiring. It's going somewhere. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the ducts that we install can actually go like how this pipe here
Right,
is.
right.
We can install it into the ceiling, like into the joist space,
Yeah.
and we can hide the ducting. But let me take a look. So the other way to do it, if we install the equipment in the crawl space area, we could push back the water heater, which is going to give you some more space.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to have tons of space for us to. Yeah, if we excuse me one sec. Let me check something. So these here, I have to double check if this one. So these can technically be removed.
What is that? now?
Those are called blocks.
Okay.
You see how right here there's holes?
Yeah.
We could take out like this block and run the pipe like right above in between the joists. So then that way it's like more
Okay.
tucked away.
But that's once the knob and tube wiring is gone.
Well, actually, let me check. Yeah, I would say yes. Just because it's kind of tight in this space.
Okay.
But regardless, if that wasn't even, if the knob and tube wiring stays, we still have different ways to run the ducting to make it more
Okay.
hidden.
So I wonder, is the knob and tube wiring question like maybe for our architect? Like ask him like what we should do with that?
You
or-
should ask your electrician,
Okay.
whoever the electrician will be.
Okay.
You have a relatively new panel.
Yeah, we have two panels. We have one here and then one on the side of the house.
Let me just check something.
And I have different things saying different things. So I don't know, but everything's three-pronged, but
Yeah.
you know, I don't think everything's grounded either. But I don't
All
know if
you
that
have
has
to
anything to do
do,
with it.
all you have to do is
Yeah.
you turn off a breaker,
Uh-huh.
and you see what turns off in the house.
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
sense. But if you turn off all the breakers and something still works in the home, I mean, which it shouldn't, that will tell you that the knob and tube wiring is getting.
Is knob and tube wiring not associated with any of these?
I have no idea. So do you see? Because you it looks like you ran all new wires. You see that the metal piping right
Yeah.
here? That has wiring in it, and the wiring is basically new wire.
Yeah.
This is brand new. This is like 5-10 years old. So back in the day, they used to install knob and tube wiring, and they wouldn't install it like this. They would just leave it exposed.
Okay.
So this tells me that you got new wires and that they left it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
that's
the disclosures of the house or ever said that the knob and tube wiring is still
Active.
active. I think that's what.
Because you can see like one wire right here. It's going somewhere. Is like a bedroom upstairs, maybe?
That's a bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe an outlet or something upstairs. It could be something very small and minor.
Okay.
It's very, very minor. Also. Let me check the other panel.
Okay.
Is it
Right
enough?
now, it's more of like, what are our central air options?
Got
like
it.
for AC, yeah, like does a heat pump work? Even though, yeah, there's definitely no attic space. Like it is tight up there.
Oh yeah. That.
So yeah, does it make sense to do a heat pump, or does it make sense to do like the regular whatever it is that the other central air thing? So that's one question.
Yes.
Like, what are our options there? The other is, and you'll explore too, I guess. Like, is there damage somewhere, like from
Right.
the rats or something? Like, what is the state of our air ducts?
The air ducts are very small.
Yeah.
So if you could do air conditioning, it wouldn't work because it's too small.
Yeah.
And then most of the time, it's more expensive to try to repair it rather than just replace the ducting.
With the,
But on top of that, San Mateo actually is most aggressive towards getting rid of gas. They actually don't let air conditioning when you have a furnace.
Yeah.
And they get prices.
Is this gas right here? This
Yes.
one? Okay.
Yeah. So if you have a gas furnace, they don't let you put an AC air conditioner
Oh, okay.
anymore. Heat pump is like a no-brainer right now.
And you think installing the air handler? Is
Yes.
That
Yeah, fan coil.
in the crawl space?
Yeah, I'm just gonna double check.
Sure.
You have tons of space. So.
Yeah, here, we can move
Thank
stuff
you.
around.
That's perfect. No
Everything's just kind of moved
No worries.
over, and then just watch out for the 3 rat traps
Of
at the
course.
beginning.
I've never been hit by a rat trap before.
There should be 3, so
Okay. No worries.
there's one, I see.
I don't need to go really in. I just want to
Okay.
see something very quickly. So you have, you have tons of space.
Do you need more flashlight? My husband has one of those
Oh.
like, really bright.
To be honest with you, I can see. It's
Okay.
just, let me just check. So it looks like you had new ducting down here, actually.
Oh, okay.
But you have wire flex ducting, which is like, well, actually, wire flex is not that bad. It looks like they ran new wires down here, too.
And you can see the ground is moist, right? You can see
Yeah.
that. So that's just kind of.
How many vents do you have downstairs? 2? 3?
We have we have 2 small ones in the kitchen,
Okay.
very small ones.
Uh-huh.
One in the dining room and one in the living room. And then there's this thing right in the entrance, which I don't know if it's an intake or what it is.
Oh, there's probably an intake.
Okay.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
That's the intake.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem. Now, you do have space down here. More honestly, it's not that bad as far as moisture is concerned. It really isn't. I've seen straight puddles.
Oh, okay.
This is really not bad at all.
Okay.
I would have.
Would it like be raised a little bit from the ground so it doesn't get like?
It's not necessarily that. It's has something to do with. Well, first of all, it's the rain. It's like it's something with your drain.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like I would get. Let me see, because you have. It looks like they installed like French drain here. Somehow the water is getting into. There's like a crack somewhere, or it's getting into the foundation area.
Yeah.
But that's pretty common because in this area, it's actually not that bad.
It could be anywhere because it's one of those houses where
Mhm.
there's all this soil pushed up against the
Mhm.
what is this called again?
Stucco.
The stucco. But when I tried to remove it, it just keeps going anyway. I think it just kind of.
Yeah,
I don't think there's like
Yeah.
the common like.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So who knows?
And that's very minor.
Okay.
What they can do is they can put like a little sub pump.
Mm-hmm.
They dig a little
Right.
area.
Yeah. We made one in Castro Valley at our
Right.
house. That's easier usually once you know where it puddles, though.
It looks like it
But
puddles like
just
towards
you just
the
go
sides.
where it is. Okay.
Because it's not going to go towards the middle. 'Cause
Okay.
that's a slope
Okay.
area. It's more towards like the
So you think
sides.
it could be installed now, like even
Yeah.
before the puddle?
I would say have like waterproofing guys
Yeah.
come and first I would have pest control come and basically clean it, everything, sanitize everything,
Yeah.
take the mouse traps out.
Yeah.
Have the waterproofing guys come in and then they can go and lay down. I don't know if you've seen it. It's not that expensive. It's like a white tarp
Okay.
type of waterproofing material. And then, or if you don't do that, that's fine as well. As long as they can come in and see if there's any areas where the water's coming in.
Yeah.
And then we would come in and do the entire install. The equipment wouldn't be on the floor. It would be hung off the floor. It
Okay.
would be, and I can show you a picture. It would be actually hung against the floor joists.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it's not going to be touching.
So it's not
the
going to
floor.
be touching. Okay,
No.
so
So
if
that's
there is
perfectly
like
fine.
a water flood,
It
it's
won't
not gonna,
touch it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it won't touch it.
Okay.
And then I would have the crawl space access actually. You can keep.
Because we're planning on moving that. So if you have a
Yeah, I
better
would put it
place,
over there.
well, We were hoping to do it externally
This
because
looks like well, externally is gonna be a little tricky,
Oh,
but
okay.
let's take a look.
But I guess yeah.
So the best place to put a filter is at the return, not where the equipment is. 'Cause
Right.
first of all, you don't want to go down there. It's dirt from going inside.
Yeah.
So if we put the filter here, it's that
Yeah.
grill, but at least you could replace the filter from here,
Right.
and you really don't need duct cleaning
Okay.
after we do the installation. But it would be good to have the grill there, and then how many vents are upstairs?
There's 3.
Gotcha. So it's 3 upstairs, 3 down there. Gotcha.
This one works very well.
Also, it's
Two-
in
two.
two. But that's okay.
So that's what must. Yeah, because also in the disclosures they said asbestos. What is it?
Wrapping.
No, they like fixed it.
Asbestos
abatement.
abatement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so that must be what the.
They basically removed everything they could access, and they sealed, the boots. Those are the things in
Okay.
between the wall.
Okay.
But that's normal.
And the attic people who dealt with the rat stuff, they said the only thing that they saw with asbestos is the exhaust
pipe,
for
the flue pipe.
Yeah, that has some asbestos, and the rats were.
Yeah, so that flue pipe is no longer used. It
okay.
might not be used because the furnace is not using that same.
I think it's for the water
It's
heater.
for the water heater, yeah. Yeah, but that's not a problem.
Because it's just going. It's just
Yeah, it's
exiting
just.
out. So.
But regardless, I do want to check something because if you do have it's called a transite. I might have to go down there and check again.
Okay.
But if you do have it's called a transite flue pipe. I have to check, but if you see here, the furnace is using a plastic pipe inside of the house.
Yeah.
I have to go down there and check the water heater one.
Yeah.
But that's not a problem. Even if it's using the asbestos flue pipe,
Mm-hmm.
the only way to solve that is to get a heat pump water heater. Because
Okay.
heat pump water heaters and the fan coil don't need the flue
Okay.
pipe.
And
This
the
is like the
and the heat
exhaust.
pump water heater is electric as well.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just a standalone. It doesn't have like an exhaust or anything. But that's not a big deal. So the only reason why I would be concerned is if it's in the way from the mechanical closet, but it's beneath. So it's totally.
So the heater just turned on. So if there was something you wanted to listen to.
I mean, you could hear it. The heat pump would be more quiet, for sure. But I mean, it's not horrible.
Yeah.
You get used to it, But yeah, that's totally normal. It seems powerful.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah. Do you know what your energy? Well, you just moved in. You
I
don't know
just
your
moved
energy.
in,
It's probably
yeah.
like $200-300 maybe.
Oh, that's better than. I feel like PG&E is always like $500 no matter what. You're just like, oh my god, what happened?
I know.
We just turned a light on once in a while.
Yeah, the price of gas is going up, but then are you getting solar panels by chance?
No.
Yeah, you just moved in, right?
Yeah, but we are going to get a new roof eventually because it's
Right.
end of life right now
Right.
for our roof.
The reason why I'm asking is because the panel's new and it looks like they have a car charger or
Oh,
put in a car charger, so
Right,
it looks
right.
like somebody was planning.
Okay.
What I'm basically trying to say is the panel, you don't have to upgrade. And
It's
this
just-
is pretty strong.
It's
This
just
is
so
really
loud that
strong.
it's like deterring people from using it. So then
Yeah.
it's just like, what's the point?
It's just this is very powerful actually, and this is very powerful. So, this is made for like large homes where they have like 2 of these right
Oh,
next to each
okay.
other. It's because it's also close the part that exhausts out.
Uh-huh.
But I'll double check.
Is there a way to make it more quiet, or like, is there something wrong with it, or it's just that's just how it is?
That's pretty strong.
And you can like feel it on the floor, even on the lowest setting. It's just like, is there something wrong with it, or that's just how it is? And
Let me just check something.
do you need the light on?
No. Oh, perfect. Yeah.
There's like several
I'm
lights.
just gonna check something very quickly. Yeah, it has a very strong motor. Like the motor, I could see the motor from here. It looks like it was like replaced too or something. But there's like a motor in there that sucks in air.
Okay.
Honestly, you would have to check. We can check for you, but it might be better to either replace it or then replace that motor itself. Sometimes it's more.
But it works fine. It's just
If it works
loud,
fine, yeah.
right?
It's just loud.
It's just loud.
That's all it is. You just have to leave it on the lowest temperature, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay. But there's nothing wrong with it. Why it's
No.
so loud? It's just because it's extra powerful.
It's just extra powerful. That's correct. And then you just have to clean these filters. Keep these these are for grease.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure it's clean, so that way it's not like choking, I guess if you want to say.
Yeah. I mean,
We can run it like all the way through the joist, all the way to the back, and then come out, and then run it to the side. Because you have other plumbing pipes there, so there's not much you could do.
I think the main
Yeah.
concern is, I think it's not a big deal because the bedroom's going to be here, and that's
Right.
the one with restrictions of height.
Right.
This will be more of a hallway, so it's not a big
Yeah.
deal. It's just more of like if we can get it a little more.
That's not a problem. Yeah, we could definitely do that, and then we can make another pipe in here and cap it. So in the future, when you guys do the remodel downstairs, you can add other vents to that pipe that we capped.
yeah, there's no exhaust for an air handler, right? Like they're like that, you know.
No, there's no
carbon
exhaust.
monoxide.
Yeah, we would take this out.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, you do have that asbestos pipe there,
Yeah.
but that's not a big deal. We could reuse that for the water heater, and that's in the back. So
It's
that's
being used for the water heater now, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
We just want to move the water heater a little back.
Yeah, and then we can get rid of this gas pipe right here because that's for the furnace.
Right.
It's not gonna
Yeah,
be
you don't
used.
need a gas pipe anymore.
So I'll just push it back. You can make this into a mechanical closet, and then have the crawl space access right there. That's it.
And then
Is the intake still in the same place?
So the intake would be in the same place, but I would replace the grill, like the little cover.
Mhm.
I would put the filter where that cover is.
Right.
So that way you don't have to go in the crawl space.
Yeah.
But when you do the addition down here, you may want to add another return downstairs to kind of help circulate the airflow. But that can be installed like anywhere. I don't know exactly what the layout will be when you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know.
Return, is that where the air goes in? Or is
Yeah.
that where
So
the
this
air goes out?
returns air into the
Yeah.
furnace, and this is the supply.
Why would you want to return down here? Just to.
Because then the airflow circulates.
Yeah,
So
okay.
because it recirculates, it's gonna be how do I say? It's not gonna. It's gonna be
Yeah,
first of all, it's
otherwise
gonna
you're
keep,
just pushing and pushing.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere in the basement. Yeah, I get it.
but it's for fresh air too. It kind
Yeah.
of helps them circulate.
Okay. Sure.
Okay,
But
so
very very straightforward.
so it sounds like this stuff would happen before the garage conversion.
Yes. Yes.
And then even though you'll push stuff back, they'll be able to put some like
Framing.
some walls, like so it doesn't look
Yeah.
like that. It'll look more
What,
like
what they're going to want to do is we would take this out. This isn't structural or anything like that. They're probably going to want to build the mechanical closet just literally like more in front of the water heater because you want the water heater to have access. And then down here, they're probably going to build like another little access door like down here or something. But you're not going to need like a big.
oh, gotcha.
You're not going to need like a huge door because this you can't take this. I don't believe. Yeah, this is more
Okay.
structural.
Yeah, that's where the stairs are.
So the door would start like roughly here, and then we would have like some space up here to run the ducting. If that makes sense, because your door doesn't need to be too high. But they have tons of space to do the framing they need.
Okay, and then there'll just be like some door here, and then
Yes.
some other door created here,
Yes.
and then you can just go in.
Yeah, because then that way you can go inside that space.
Right.
And then that's good for like other things like electrical and plumbing and anything
Yeah.
else that anybody needs to access. And then we put a light in there, so then you go in there and turn on the light.
Where would the
Okay.
The heat pump condenser would go. We looked at one possible place behind the wall, behind where the bathroom is over there.
Huh. Interesting.
It will look like this. We can hang it against the wall instead of putting it on concrete plastic
Yeah.
pad. And the location that I was looking at was right over here. Like hang it against the wall,
Yeah.
like right here. So then that way you don't have to redo any of the landscaping and take it
Yeah,
out in
yeah,
the
I like
future.
that.
So with the knob and tube, you were saying like if we can remove that, then
We
Well,
can
I guess-
we can hide the ducting better in between the joists.
okay, but it's still gonna have to go over here anyway.
Well,
Like that.
regardless, the wiring is going all the way down. You see how it's going
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
way through? I don't think some of it is active because it looks like a lot of it was replaced, but it's hard to say. you know.
I'm just wondering like what's a requirement, like we should definitely do this before you do the work versus what's like a nice to have.
If it's live, like if it's currently working, I would say just leave it.
Okay.
You know, we can still work around. You don't need that many ducts here. We can still work around it, and make it, look
A
good.
little tidier.
Yeah, we'll make
A
it
little
tighter,
closer
for
to
sure.
the ceiling. Yeah.
That's not a problem. But if it's not active, then just pull it out. And that's it.
Right. And then the other thing he was saying was we might want to get someone to come and just put the sump pump there where it's like moist, where you see it. just before installation, or is that more of a nice to have?
Either way,
Because it's being
it's
hung
really
from
not
the.
that bad.
It's hung
Is
from
there
the
a sump
floor
pump already?
joist, so it won't matter.
I don't know. I didn't see a sub pump. It's not like it's gonna. I mean, a sub pump is also more like temporary. It's like a band-aid almost, but I really didn't see that much water there.
Okay.
It looks like it's just something with maybe like the drain over there.
So that would be more of like a nice to have, but it's not necessary in order for you to install
No, it's not
okay.
that bad. Down
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Because it'll be hanging from the bottom of the floor.
Yeah,
the
it's-
joist, so
it's gonna be
The air
hanging
handler's gonna be hanging from the joist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So,
it's gonna
even
be
if
off the
there is
ground.
like some water, it's not.
But it's very minor. The water. It's not like there's puddles.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I
just saw
saw
the dirt
it.
get a little wet.
Okay, so that's just nice to have. That's just nice to have. So really, you could technically begin work
Yes. Yes.
without.
I
us
would just
doing
have the
any
pest
additional-
control guy come sanitize, take out any traps,
Okay.
and then after we finish, pest control guy comes
Yeah.
back, sets traps. But more importantly, if we see any like holes or gaps anywhere around, we'll cover
Yeah.
it. But he should, look at that.
They sanitized under there, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
They
saying.
never caught
Whatever-
any
whatever
rats.
that
They never
means.
caught any
Same
rats down there, so I don't
process.
think there's any rats there.
I honestly
Yeah.
didn't see that much activity.
We
down
didn't
there,
have any
honestly.
rats on
Yeah.
the space that we know of.
I didn't
Yeah.
see anything.
Never got
We
one
caught
through-
we caught one rat over here,
Yeah.
and there
No,
was
it's-
rat poop on this like wooden thing.
Got it.
But,
There's been
but,
no activity since that we know of.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
no
I
worries.
think they've kind of given up.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Yeah. It's just because it's cold outside and they were being.
No, they lived in the attic for like 20 years.
Yeah,
There wasn't
there's two
access
different.
to one of
That's
the
crazy.
attics. Yeah,
Right.
they must have lived
The
there
guy,
forever.
we had a guy come to create an access to that attic because there was no access. He cut a hole and a rat jumped out.
Ooh. I've actually never seen a rat. I've been there for like over 12 years.
There's a ton of rats in these crawl spaces.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we caught many. Well, we caught 3, which is a lot.
Well, we got one in each
Yeah, it is a
area.
little bit.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
just moved in too. It's just
Yeah.
probably the previous owners didn't.
They didn't
care.
even. I don't think they knew.
They didn't
Yeah.
know. They had
They
cats in
didn't-
the house, so the rats never went into the house.
So you guys need to
They
leave.
lived in the attic. Yeah.
But it makes sense. Everything's very straightforward, and the house is in good condition. So
Yeah. Cool. Thank
you
you.
guys got.
And then,
Yes.
just minor question.
Mhm.
When you're doing work and all of that stuff,
Mhm.
because the attic / rat crew, like, kind of created the,
Yes.
made it so rats
Yeah.
can't get in. Will that still be there, or do we need to have them come in and like patch up any areas?
This honestly doesn't do much. To be honest with you, I mean it looks like it does, but it doesn't do as much as rats are incredible at what areas they can go through. We have to, regardless, put a door here for the inspection because the inspector is going to want to see that being closed off.
Do you have to close off that part too?
Yes, but a portion of this part is going to be blocked off because we're going to have some ducting coming out of there.
I see.
But we can't have anything like exposed like that.
Yeah, that's great.
So there won't be any
Yeah.
holes. Basically.
There won't be any holes.
I'm just
Yeah,
trying to like get
yeah,
at
there
like
won't
there's
be
not
any
like we don't have to like redo like rat proofing.
No. So
Okay.
we don't paint. We can install like some plywood or some sheetrock
Yeah.
and then some sheet metal
Mhm.
because it needs to be fireproofed.
Okay.
That's the main thing.
Okay.
And otherwise, you won't have any holes. We're not going to leave any holes
Do
here.
you have to do anything to these walls?
As long as there's no holes or anything, then no.
Okay, it's just that one.
It's just this area. I don't even know why it's exposed like this, but there was
Yeah.
probably like a huge heater here at some point.
Mhm.
But we would cover any holes, so you would have no holes or anything
Yeah.
anywhere here.
Okay, cool.
So no worry.
And then whatever's not covered, I guess when they do the garage conversion, they'll just.
Oh, we'll
put-
cover it. We
Okay,
have
so
to
the
cover
whole area is going to be kind of.
Well, not this part.
Okay.
Just any
But
areas.
this part, okay.
Yeah, because the idea is, God forbid, any fire was to happen.
Right.
You can't go into the.
I see.
it
Okay,
needs
so
to
there'll be like
fireproof.
metal and all this stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
All
that's
right.
basically it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, I think you definitely addressed all my notes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna definitely include all the details in the estimate as well.
Okay. And then it sounds like the stove hood is a no op. It's just like whatever. It's just loud.
Loud.
It's just loud.
I have
And
to-
we'll just have to get used to using it.
Somebody replaced that motor in there. Maybe they replaced it with the wrong one, but they definitely. I saw a new strap. They replaced like the motor inside the hood, so they probably put a big, stronger one for some reason. Or,
Okay. Okay.
But
It's not our priority.
yeah.
Okay.
But we can definitely try to take a look when we're doing the installation. Yeah.
I just worry that we're not going to use it, and
Yeah,
we
let's
need,
just
we need to
focus-
use it.
focus
Okay.
on
Okay.
it.
Focus on it. Okay.
But yeah, no, everything makes sense. Did you guys have any other questions for me by chance?
And then, well, if we do want the the
Yes.
bathroom vent thing, we should have the roof guy come first, or does that not matter because you'll still do that as long as you do the installation? It doesn't have to be the same day or time.
Yeah, I mean, it can be during, it can be after.
Okay.
I would say, obviously, when it
now it's
when it
raining.
doesn't rain,
yeah.
shortly after it rains, I would have a roofer just come out and just give you an estimate. You know, just tell them, hey, I'm interested in getting a new roof potentially. Have them come out, look, give you a free estimate, and then
Yeah.
say, by the way, you know, later on when we do the remodel, we'll be interested, but how much would it be to put a bathroom fan or something? And you
Yeah.
know, that's the perfect time. That,
Okay.
You know, and that's the best time.
Okay, so we
First
don't
of
have
all,
to
you'll
get that done first before
Right.
this.
But at least you'll have a roofer in the future. If you
Right,
like
right.
them, you can test them for that
Right,
small
right.
job, and then I can work with them directly. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Armen.
Armen, thanks,
Yes.
Armen.
Nice to meet you.